Alright guys, I want to make this super quick and to the point because I want to hurry up and get this video uploaded. But what you just saw there on the dyno, on the rollers there, was a K20A3 Vtec killer putting in the biggest fucking work I have ever seen. Now, all right, so it's a pretty fucking basic setup, and as far as like who built it, yeah, I will leave the links in the description. Also, you can just go to my Instagram, and I'm gonna make another post after this video is uploaded, so that way you can follow that link to the guy's build. But it's a K20A3 with a Stockport base model K24 head and a Vtec killer with so the cams are aftermarket. He said IPS. I'm not familiar with the brand or whatnot, so I'm not sure how big those cams are exactly. But it's 87. So he bored over to 87 millimeter, and he used RRC pistons. So 87 millimeter RRC pistons and some big cams and M1. Of course, it was some numbers this big. You gotta see that there's gonna be some ratio in there. But again, super simple and basic build. It's pretty much pistons, cams, M1, almost 300 horsepower. Also, too, a couple things of note is he was revving the fuck out of it. Now, I guess I kind of rushed this. I'm kind of tired, so I didn't check and see if the valve training itself is aftermarket. But that doesn't really necessarily lend to how much power it's going to make, just if it's going to be able to sustain the revs he's doing. And he revved it out to 9,500. And the tuner said that if they would have took it up to 10,000 flat, it would have made 300 horsepower. So damn near 300 horsepower on a pistons cam K20A3 Vtec killer. This is a base model long block with pistons and cams, dude. So anyway, so again, I was saying, like, things of note here is that he used the notched exhaust rockers, and he pin locked his intake rockers. So as I was saying before, like, this is something you can do. This is a whole lot cheaper of an option to go with. Plus, it would make things easier for me, like just selling a complete Vtec killer head. Like right now, I pretty much I can only offer like refreshed heads, which honestly you could probably get on eBay for close to the same price. But you got to think that even if I'm charging like $500 for the head, you still got to consider the cost of the head itself and the cost of cleaning and whatnot. And now I'm resurfacing everything as well, even if it doesn't really need it. So that right there is like already $250 at the machine shop, plus the cost of shipping it. So honestly, I really don't make no money on these fucking things, which is why it sucks, because it's like people see it as a base model head, they don't want to spend the money on it because it's kind of expensive for a base model head, but they're not seeing all the cost that goes into it. But anyway, that's besides the point. The whole thing is you can get one of these engines and do this shit yourself if you're willing to take a crack at building. It was K20A3 rods, which is already reaching its safe limits for what I'd feel comfortable with. But still, it just goes to show, like, because this is definitely a race motor. It's on M1. So, it's just the whole point of the fact is, like I've been saying for fucking years, the potential's all there. Now, and imagine if you'd have gone with like a full Vtec head, like you can still do that, and with a base model block with a Vtec head, and make that much more power because the ports are bigger, right? And you're going to have that much better flow with the head itself. But again, full base model long block with cams and pistons made almost 300 fucking horsepower, guys. So all day these things are out there eating. I know that recently I've been talking about my S2000 and my Integra situation. I'm trying to get the S2000 finished so I can get to the Integra, but the Integra is just as close as being finished as the S2000 was like a month ago. It's very little things that need to be happening to that car to get it ready to go. And I was talking about doing a single cam next because I have so much for it already, but I also have so much for like K series as well. Here, just a little peek real quick. I have various complete long blocks sitting around my fucking house when it comes to K series, all different little combos and matchups. And I very much want to build my own K20A3, but I don't want to do the NA route. That's just, I'm not wanting to do that. I just want to go boost. Because I really want to, like, there's a lot of people that hate on the K20A3 still. Like, I know more and more people are waking up to this movement. Over the past 3 years, I have posted, a handful of guys that are doing NA builds. That, the engines consistently make 200 horsepower, 210 horsepower on regular pump gas with the minimal effort. There were still big elitist people out there who shit on what these things are capable of. And I really want to do a simple 500 horsepower base model build, which it'd be pistons and rods, because I'd go with rods, because the base model rods you ain't doing that with, but pistons and rods, but stock head, like completely stock head. And I just my rev wouldn't be so high. I would just use boost to compensate for that. But yeah, it's really fun. The K20A3, like, so many people shit on that. I want to make my power with the K20A3s. And this is another thing too, is the guys, like, there are definitely a lot of people out there running like fully built sleeved K20A3s and K24A4s. They just don't talk about this very much. Same thing with like Vtec Killer. Vtec Killer is a thing that people have been doing for a long ass time, that most of the big racers that are fully dedicated drag cars, they run Vtec Killer. They just don't really talk about it that way, right? This is kind of like the dirty ghetto lingo of the things that people have been doing for a long time. They just don't recognize it the same way. Yeah. So yeah, it's a quick little update. I just want to share that information, get that out there. Guys, if you're going K series, you don't have to kill your pockets to make big power. There's, I don't really haven't been paying attention to Facebook so much, or the marketplace that much recently, but every once in a while, like, I'll get a random post in my feed, and I still see people selling like K20A2s and K24A2s for like $1,000. And you don't really need to do that. Now, I guess if you want to take it stock and just throw turbo at it and fucking make 500 horsepower or whatever, then yeah, that's definitely the way to go. But if you're just gonna do an NA build, like, you don't need to spend $1,000 on a long block. I mean, honestly, yeah, you could just do pistons and VTEC lock that shit with some real VTEC cams and still make all kinds of power and spend way less money. You're still regularly seeing prices like K20A3s and shit go for like $150. Again, this is all depending on where you live, but I will never pay more than $150 for a K20A3. As a matter of fact, I had somebody recently offer a couple of them, 2 K20A3s long blocks for that price, but they're in Orlando. My one car that I have that's capable of making that trip is not really trustworthy. Yeah, and at the end of the day, spending $300 on engines for what? Like I've been saying, guys, like, for me, my engine building is slowed down over the past year. I haven't built an engine since June of last year, so it's been almost a complete year since the last time I built an engine for somebody. Oh, I'm lying. I just did a B20 the other day. I completely fucking forgot about that. But besides that B20, it's been that long since the last time I put a fucking block together. But yeah, I mean, I would like to do more. I was speaking of that. You see over there. I don't know how well you can see, but there's another K series long block that's on a stand over there, and the guy I built the B20 for seemed like he might be interested in that, and it's a potential sponsorship, so I might not even be needing to sell it to him. Probably, as long as I get my footage or whatnot, I'll give him the engine and he can take it off. Like, I got plenty around here. The 2 under my table, the one next to my bed, and the one in the front room. So that's 4 long blocks I have, and I'd rather just have that out there, somebody running it, instead of me having to go and put together a whole swap and build a fucking car. The S2000 has been enough of a headache. I'm sure the Integra's probably gonna give me a headache, and then I think I got probably one more project car in me until I can buy a house, which might be soon. So anyway, been going on for too long. If you did watch this whole thing this entire time, I appreciate it, guys. I'm kind of like, I guess I'm a lot more tired than I realized. My brain's a bit scattered. So my social media links are in the description down below. If you want to get links to the build or whatnot, you can follow my Instagram, or you can just go to my Instagram and you'll see it there. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and peace.